Okay, so this is my third attempt at doing this video. Now, the last video I did, which was the third one, I had been tossing and turning all night, and I was like, oh, I guess I gotta do the video. But even though I've been resting really well, so I was like, okay, I've been having flare-up for my injury. So I'm like, okay, maybe since that was the initial like catalyst for me being sat down long enough to get the messages from the divine to even do the videos or even feel compelled to release my wanting to just bury it forever and not have to think about it unless I'm using it as a cautionary tale for my children and my descendants. But apparently the information, the wisdom that I have procured from the betrayals and 111 on the timer, from the betrayals and the magnitude of just abuse and trauma and hexes, curses, dark magic and things like that that have been utilized on not only myself but on my relatives. So I recently have been kind of like getting a lot of like downloads, and then I was told, like, in my mind, I'm like, I need to write these down when they come to me, because like when I actually would sit down and record, it would just be all over the place. And I'm just like, if I write it down, then it can be a little bit more focused, I guess. Not only just focused, but also just like structured. So I was going to the bathroom to grab something today, and I've been trying to just like stay off my feet like as much as possible, but I need to grab something, and this thought had came to my mind, and I was like, oh, I guess I need to write that down, because the thing is, like, I'll get the thoughts like truths or whatever, boom, 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 here. I'll get like a memory from like childhood, like here, there. Somebody told me there, and it's like, it's not until I like am able to sit with stuff long enough, or I talk about it, where I'm like, oh, that's connected. Oh, that's connected. That's connected. And after you connect the stuff, it's like it tells this whole story, right? So I just started typing in my notes. So I'm just gonna read it, and ultimately, there's a lot of truths in this message. I don't know how long it's going to be that I'll be talking, but I don't think it'll be that long. I've been told that I'm an amazing orator because I did go to Toastmasters, but yeah. And then also I'm going to use the Descript app to take out some of my uns and ahs. 3, 2, 1 on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. Chosen ones are, oh wait, the note before that said, if you don't worry about nothing, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. That was already in my notes, and then I typed under this, but I think it kind of connects, honestly. So, chosen ones are often overlooked and unsuspecting because God put a cloaking over you. People may try to pick at you and abuse you, but only when you allow it. I recognized once I got away from my cursed family and their abuse, I started to experience the familiar dynamics 404 on the timer within the friend groups and the relationships that I was forming. And I didn't get away from them for the first time until I went to college, which was only 25 minutes from my house. So that's a whole nother story. Okay, let's focus. So I started exercising my free will after some heavy betrayals within, friendship groups, things that that are my choice. And because I just realized, like, this is my life. I don't have to deal with, be around, talk to, or associate with anything or anybody that brings me down, that steals from me 444 on the timer, that, you know what I mean? Like, but you don't got to get a chance to really feel that until you spend some time. Oh, so they basically, I didn't get a chance, or you won't get a chance to really like feel that you don't have to deal with stuff that you don't want to deal with until you spend time by yourself, until you spend time in your own energy and realize, like, wait, peace exists within me. So if peace exists within me, I can be at peace with myself, then that means that this heaviness, the heaviness that often plagues me, that debilitates me, that makes me feel thoughts and emotions that are unpleasant and overbearing and undermining, those energies don't belong to me. Those aren't mine. Okay? But it's like if you're always in proximity to somebody that's like projecting something onto you, or you know what I mean? Like you won't know. Like you'll think it's you. You'll think it's just follows you everywhere you go. And then the people that's doing it to you, especially if you have like a parent or a family member or someone that's your guardian or whatever, that you're telling your business to, updating your life, and or has the ability to get updates on your life, they'll try to also like, I'm going off script a little bit. Well, not script, but out of my notes. They'll try to like put that confusion over you where it's just like, oh, why does it always seem like you're always in drama? Da 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 da. Whole time, they're the weapons that are forming. So I said, when I was in my early 20s, I bartended. I got my real estate license during COVID in 2020. That was 6 years ago, which means I was 25, which is when I came into the awareness of a lot of the warfare, betrayals, and phoniness, and the social currency politics and other BS that I not really like ignored, but I was not fully in awareness of because it was like so much outside noise and distractions that were the distraction from the inside noise within my upbringing, within my home, with my parents. Because when I was outside, at least I was making money. Through bartending, I'd get like random pop-up opportunities, or I'd get like asked to do like events like, hey, could you bartend for this, right? Could you, like I would always like get opportunities get handed to me through outside sources based on people, you know, seeing my work ethic, and then also like social currency. Because like, for example, when you're a chosen one, an anointed person, you have a lot of light, which means that people that gravitate towards you. Now, people that own businesses and things like that, businesses run on stuff like that. Like, we don't need to do an ad. You're the ad. What are you talking about? Like, go stand outside the building and watch all these people come inside. So promotions, stuff like that. So for example, when I was a promoter, which is when, well, no, I've had fan theories about me my entire life. So I can't even say fan theories were at the height at that, but it could possibly have been the case. When I was a promoter, I'd actually reached out to a guy that I had met at the club when a friend of mine from college and work was getting put out of a club. She's gonna put out because she was too drunk. And so he was security at the time. So he was like the only person I knew that was like on my social media at the time that worked at a nice club. So I reached out to him about like, because this is when I was a server. I hadn't been a bartender yet. And I had asked like, oh, about like bottle girling or whatever, because serving, that was like in the realm of the world that I was living in. So I was just like, oh, okay, I want to bartend, you know, that'd be easy money. I mean, bottle girl, because bartending was like, it was difficult for me to get into bartending. I put a lot of effort into getting into bartending. It was a lot of like blockage. It was a lot of people trying to be red tape in my life, whatever. It didn't work. So, because I just don't, there's no plan B. Like, I don't have plan Bs. It's just plan A. Plan B is just another way to make plan A work. So I had asked him about bottle girl. He was like, no, I have another job for you though that I could think you'd be great at. So he was like promoting. So when I was a promoter, I basically got paid $10 for every girl that was a 7 and up, looks wise, to the club. Or like for getting their information, like getting their name, their email, their social media handles. And yeah, so all that information, I would get $10 for all those people. So it was like, so on one end, I'm in my early 20s, I would probably go to this club anyway, but now I don't have to pay for everything. I get all these perks. I'm able to put people on, get people in the club, meeting all these great people. Like, and that was also a stepping stone for me being able to bartend, especially at like the hot spots. So during that time, yeah, but I wasn't prostituting myself. I've never had sex for money. Like, I've never exchanged things for sex. I've always looked for safeness within a person. Like, because I was always looking for something that was safer than what I had when I had to go back home. That was the basis of all of it, always. Now, did it end up working in my favor? Greatly, yeah. Not all of it. No, I've had some, you know, people betray me, people try to malign me. I've gotten into fights and things like that, but I personally have never been beat up. I just always be good. Like, when I got people try to set me up, girl, I'm going off my notes at this point. I remember this one girl, I thought we were so cool. We met in college my sophomore year, and I thought we were so cool. And I called her my sister, and well, she called me her sister first. And so she ended up telling me that when we was with a group of people, she was like, oh yeah, I had a crush on her when I first met her. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, that's why I would let you like copy off my stuff in our class that we shared together. And I was like, cause I was always distracted in college, cause like I said, I didn't even have housing for the first like couple months. So it was just like, I was just trying to survive, honestly. So yeah. So she's like, because everything was like such a feat. All of the normal things that people would think would be just like normal. Like, it's like I had to go so far on my way to just get the basic. But yeah, so she ended up, it was just like a whole bunch of stuff, drama, whatever. And one of the days she had took me to New York. Now she was trying to be like a celebrity or whatever. I personally have never like cared about stuff like that. And so, yeah, because my uncle's in Hollywood, which is something that I'm like talking about a little bit like this. Like, my godmother's in Hollywood and he's in Hollywood. So yeah, so long story short, we went to New York. We were at a bar, and her friend, she had brought her childhood friend or whatever, who was like more like a sex for money person, but I didn't know that. So anyway, because I don't be in people's business. I really be in my own world. You could literally see me with a group of people. I would literally be in my head like the whole time. Like, I be in my thoughts. I be having my own intentions on how the night's gonna go, like the fun and stuff like that. Like, I don't be paying attention to all the little details about what girls was doing or saying, because like I didn't care. Like, if you're not gonna tell me directly, then like I might pick up on stuff. Like, anything I'm supposed to know is I know. So anyway, and even if I don't know, because whatever reason it's not revealed to me or whatever, I'm always protected anyway. So anyway, we're at the bar in New York, and we're supposed to be meeting up with her boyfriend at the time, who was an A&R for a rapper, a prominent rapper, right? And so I didn't know that this was even a possible thing that would have possibly happened to me, like, during this time. Like, so like that wasn't the realm my mind was in. I'm thinking I'm just having a good time with my friend that I've been friends with for years. So we go to the bar, and when we're leaving out, like, I'm drinking and stuff like that. And so they're the type where they would like take perks and stuff like that. I'm not like that. Only other time I had took a perk was when I had gotten a car accident. I had the doctors had given me a perk, but that was it. So she, when I'm like drunk and stuff like that, like puts, like while I'm talking, like just puts it in my mouth, like whatever. So I'm like, what did you do? She's like, oh, you about to be lit, da 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 da. I'm like I was already lit though. Why do I need to be lit like that? So yeah, but it wasn't, I didn't feel, I mean, I was whatever. I mean, I was calm, I guess. I don't know. I was as lit as I don't feel like any infinite litness was experienced by me other than how I was already feeling. But also, I have a good, like, I've always been pretty good about myself in regards to like being drunk. Usually, like, if I'm with my friends and everybody's getting drunk, I'll end up sobering up because I just can't, right? Unless somebody did something like drug me or whatever, which I think I talked about that in one of my other videos, whatever. But that's definitely happened. So we go to a hotel, and in the hotel is her boyfriend, but then there's this guy that's there, and it's a double bedroom. So it's me, her, the other girl, and then her dude is already there. So it got all sketchy or whatever because the dude's like in a robe, and he's like, oh, so it's two beds, one nobody's on, so I go sit on the edge of that one. And then her boyfriend like tells her to come in the bathroom with him real quick, and they turn like the shower on. And I didn't understand why they were doing that, but I thought, so this is the thing, no matter what's going on, as far as like people pretending, whispering, not telling me stuff, I can still feel it. Like if energy is like so like dangerous and low, like I'm in danger, like I can feel like people's bad intentions. So it's like nobody can really do that to you for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like your friend can't, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like ultimately the intuition of, or the discernment of, yeah, have your wits about you was there. So I'm like, you know, at this point I'm just like roll dog, but I'm just like, why are we here? What is going on? Because it's three of us and you're with your boyfriend and y'all not like that, at least not to what my understanding is. And I never met that girl before, but if you need somebody for the night, it seemed like she's willing. So I don't know. But, and then also my boyfriend at the time lived in New York. So I had planned on like linking up with him at some point anyway. So I just was like, if I need to go see, like go to, you know, like go somewhere else, I could just go with him. So anyway, at that time. So yeah, so she's like, I don't know what was going on, but ultimately, like I'm like, he ends up saying like, oh, what y'all doing? Come over here. And so like I was like, nah, I'm good. But she was like, okay. And she like goes and like is in the bed with him and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. So then when my friend comes out the bathroom, I'm just like, all right, what we doing? Like, and she was like acting like she had an attitude with me. And so I'm just like, and he seeming like he got an attitude. And so I'm like, and then the dude seeming like he got an attitude. And I'm like, why everybody got an attitude? I thought we was having a good time. What's going on? So yeah, I'm moving how I want to move, however way I did about it, which is always would throw people off with me. Like they be thinking, oh, Rain, she's sweet, kind, da-da-da-da, or she's gullible or whatever. And then like when it's actually time to like insert their plan or initiate and press the lever, crunk, it'd be like, steps over. You didn't even know I knew where the booby trap was the whole time. I was standing over it the whole time because I knew the only way that I was gonna fall in is if he pulled the lever. He was nowhere near the lever until just now. Steps over to the left. You didn't realize God configured it to where now it's underneath you. Now you're falling. Wrong lever. Yeah, everybody on your team is an idiot. Like, if you notice when you like watch movies and stuff like that, the little henchmen and stuff, they're always stupid. People that be possessed and demonic and stuff, they do not be smart, bro. They be thinking they're smart. They be thinking they're really smart. And they might know some stuff. They might know a lot. But they don't know everything, and they're not wise. They're not wise. So I went way off my notes, but here we are. Anyway, whoa. You gotta know this part is important. So when we're leaving the hotel, nothing happens with anybody, right? But I feel like then the boyfriend's intentions, because remember he's A&R, so he's always trying to climb that ladder. He's always trying to like, you feel me, like be the lackey to get that job done so that he can stop being bitch boy. So, and it's a whole lot with that situation too, like a whole lot. But the point isn't about, this is, you know what I mean? This ain't about them. This is about what I'm observing. So as we're leaving without him. He stays. And she's like, has an attitude. She has an attitude for whatever reason, but she's not saying why. So she's just like, oh, let's just go or whatever, right? Let's just go find something else to do or something like that. So as we're walking, she's like so mad. She was a real aggressive one, she was. But yeah, so, but also like at the end of the day, like the reason why I could be around someone that was so angry is that a part of me was angry with my home experience. And I'm sure that, and I mean, I met, she based on her upbringing, her situation, and she's angry too, with the right to be. But at the same time, even if we do have a right to be angry, it's also in our right and in our authority and in our highest good to. So all of a sudden I start having technical difficulties with this phone. Anyway, so you do have within your right and then within your highest and best good to let it go, to recognize that the Most High literally used those people for your good, for your best good, because every chosen person has to be anointed. They have to be initiated through the sacrifice of their old self. Just like they hated Jesus. So why would you think, and he was perfect in God's image. So if you're trying your best to live like Christ, truly, which means telling the truth, being authentic, saying the thing, shaking the room, leaving with grace and confidence with your head held high. That's how you do it. Like, and it's hard. And even when you know that's how you do it, it's still hard to walk in it. But as you create, as you walk, as you command, there are things that I've literally commanded into my reality because I was just so tired of seeing it the other way. It didn't make any sense to me. And only the devil acts in confusion, so rebuke him. Okay, so now I'm doing shorter videos because I don't want to be talking and then it like stop it and throw me off. So anyway, to finish out that story, so she had the attitude when we were leaving, this huge attitude. And so me, her, and her friend are walking across the street, right? And so as we're walking across the street, why does a taxi come out of nowhere and hit her? Like she didn't, you know, pass or anything like that, but it effed her up for sure. And she tried to, like, she was so angry that she couldn't even feel it. But what's crazy is that she wouldn't even say why she was so angry. And what like came to me like randomly, like, but yeah, girl, not you trying to drug me, traffic me unsuccessfully, then get mad that the Most High punished you for it with instant backfire of karma. That was her karma instantly for trying to traffic